Righto. So again, we're back in this basic quadruped position. Now, I want to explain something that's super important in relation to function. Right now, Jordan's got his knees in line with his hands, which means that the setup is wider than the pelvis. Now, if we say what does wider than the pelvis give us, it gives us a very slight abduction of the hip, and as a result, the adductor group is yielding and lengthening a little bit, working in a lengthening contraction. So we have co-activation of AB and adduction. Now we know from development that the lower positions are setting up locomotion, meaning the ability to walk and run and displace as an upright mammal. So what I'm saying is that's what the key understanding for all the setup in these lower positions is. So if you just take a step forward there, mate. So as Jordan stepped his left knee forward, it's in line with his left wrist, and this is now the support, this is ready to step. Now just step backwards. Alright, so when we do cross crawl later, that's what we're explaining, that we're actually keeping that lined up like a set of train tracks. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this position up into space so the spine's challenged under load through its length. So if you bring your elbows down in line with where your hands were to set up on forearms. So the forearm setup gives us what is like a giant hand. So the information starts at the medial epicondyle of the elbow and encompasses the entire length and width of the forearm. The other thing Jordan is subtly doing is he's slightly pronating towards the index finger and thumb side to get scupular fixation. Alright, so we can see we've got a beautiful lengthened spine there between the end points. Prague School talk about lifting the necklace, so what we do from mid-shoulder blades when we scan the neck, we say where do we need to lift the necklace. So we can see we've got a lovely even lift of the necklace from T4 right up to the occiput. Now, Jordan's got his feet in line, so when he lifts up, the knee's going to line up with the centre of the ankle. I'm just going to shift this left foot across 5mm, mate. That's it. The other thing paying attention to is the first and fifth knuckle of the foot back here. Alright, so when you feel like you can keep your pressure and not lose your length, I want you to lift the pelvis into space, push the ground away, and we're up into what's called modified bear. A little bit high with the pelvis, mate. Good, good. Now if you get your knees lined up with the centre of the ankle, which will be roughly your second toe, and I want you to hold. Okay, what we can do as a supervisor spotter is check in at the centre of the heels over the second toe, and we come up and we look at the pelvis in relation to its orientation. Should be in a sagittal plane. I'm just going to ask for a little bit of pressure just above TL junction. I want you to lift into my hand, very good. And the other thing Jordan's doing in his own practice here is he's subtly widening the mat through his forearm push, again to give him scupular fixation. He's pressurising to his pelvic floor and hips, and he's paying attention to first and fifth knuckle and knee lining up. Okay, when you're ready, mate, I want you to glide that down, keeping your knee tracking. See if you can keep that spine all the way down. Good. Very good. Alright, that's quite a tough position because you're under load. It's like the ball of the foot sending you that way, and the shoulder girdle's got to decelerate that push and send it back. So it's a wonderful way to feel central body.